Hey party people, this is Jeremy for MVM, and today I'm here with another Kickstarter preview of Ravels, which is published by XYZ Lab Games and designed by Adam McCrimmon. In this 2 to 4 player game, players are taking on the roles of craftsmen, and they are trying to gather yarn, as you see pictured down here. They will take that yarn and they will turn it into items, or they will fulfill special requests or their own favorite requests. All these things will score them points. And also, as you complete these projects, that will get you closer to triggering the end of the game, but scoring a lot more points. Now, it's not all that simple. Players will have their own different abilities depending on the character they choose. And there's also events that will pop up as you start to go shopping for different cards in the market. They can be good for you, they could be good for everybody, and they can be bad for your opponents. There's a lot of little things that play in here, and I'm kind of glossing over some things. So let's go ahead and take a look at this prototype. I'm going to show you how the game actually plays today, and then you can make an informed backing decision. So let's go ahead and get to the table and find out more about Ravels. To set up for a game of Ravels, you're going to need to set up a yarn bazaar, and that's what this is right here. First of all, it starts with a deck of yarn cards, and they're going to have 1, 2, or 3 items on each card. You're going to be dealing these out in a 6-card display. Make sure you have a discard pile, but if there's ever cards that come out that look like this, that are not yarn related, like this is an event card, then this is going to be moved to the side, and then it's going to be shuffled back in this deck when you're ready to begin. You're also going to have the tokens that you get when you shop for these. You're going to turn them in, discard them, and then get these tokens right here. And eventually you will make certain patterns in different items, and you're going to turn them into these tokens. These tokens are two-sided. They're going to be the actual items, and then you can flip them over, and they're also worth points at the end of the game if you still have them. There are 5 different types, but I won't go into that too much depth because you're going to see a lot of that. Let's go ahead and move to the player side. Each player receives a player board, and that can be randomly or by choice. And they are all different because each one of them is going to have different sets of actions. And we'll talk about how they do, but as you can see, all of them are the same. The only one they share is exchange icon. But they have a shop, they have a craft, and then they have kind of a combination or an ability, and then an exchange area. But starting at the top, you're going to see the type, the name they are, the type of specialty they are. You're also going to see this little tag, which is their favorite project. And if they have that favorite project, because they're all going to start out with that, if they make it by the end of the game, they're going to get 10 points if they make it, but they're also going to get a +5 bonus, and that goes the same for everyone else. At the beginning of the game, they will also receive another set of projects as well. So they will take the rest of these projects that are in the game, and they will randomly receive one. They'll be dealt 1 extra one, and the rest will go inside the deck. I'm just going to move those off there. And by the way, just take a look at these diverse characters. I really like that they have different people of color and stuff like that. It's just really cool, and they even have someone's disabled. I just like to see that in games. At the bottom of the board, each board, they're all going to have the same pieces here: the hat, the bear, mittens, scarf, and sweater. But as you can see, there's numbers right here. What those are going to be, they're going to be covered by these tiles in the beginning of the game. These will be kind of like your general patterns that you have to learn, and then when you learn them, you'll uncover a different way to do them, and they'll be a lot easier. You can get a lot more options. So in the beginning, these are covered, and then as the game goes along, that will change if you choose to. But I'm just going to give you each one of these, and if you notice, they're not the same. There's actually 6 of each type, so you got some replay value there, and you don't have the same old, same old. But that is your player setup. So let's go ahead and get to the gameplay. You're all set up, got your colorist. I think I'm going to choose these top 2 here because they have some unique stuff going on. So let's go ahead and get Nia and Ted ready to go. I'm going to do exactly what I like to do all the time, and that's actually play the game and talk about it as I play. So hopefully you get a gist of how this game feels in action. So we're going to start with Ted here, and Ted's going to take one of his actions. He can go shopping over here in the Yarn Bazaar, craft 2 items, or his little special combo action here, which is take any 3 of these, just 3, a combination of 3, and put them in his bowl, and then craft 1 item, which is what I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to take 3. I'm going to take 2 orange and 1 purple. And then I'm going to craft 1 item. Okay, so when it says 1, I can craft 1 of these items here. And that 1 item is going to be this little cute little bear. Okay, so I got 3 orange here. I'm going to toss that in here, and then I'm going to get, look at me missing right there, and then I get 1 bear. Now the bear at the end of the game is actually worth 3 points, but I also want to use these instead to build one of these projects here. I also want to use this token potentially for something later on. Now, if there was anything that I need to replace, I would take a yarn bazaar, kind of restock the yarn bazaar, but we didn't do that. And I also now can take restock actions, and this is one of the 3 things you can do. I can complete a project, which I can't do. I could learn a pattern, okay? And I do have a pattern I want to learn. I'm actually going to turn this token in for this. And what I'm going to do is when I turn the token in, which is going to go back, I'm going to take this off. Now this does 2 things. Before I had to make all orange, okay, I'm going to bring this back over here. I had to use all orange to make this pattern now, to make a bear. Now I can just use 3 of any color, so I don't have to be specific. And this is a choice that I have, but the incentive is also to get 3 points. So I get 3 points and I kind of get a choice of all the colors I want to use. And that's my turn. Remember, I cannot take that same turn. Now, we got our Nia over here, and she has a couple different actions. I think she's going to take a bunch of cards. So let's go ahead and go shopping. Okay, that's our first action. So she's going to take just a bunch of these cards. Let's take all 3 of these. I like all these. We're going to just take a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so I'm going to take, let's see, 2 red. Okay, 2 red. I'm going to take a red and an orange. And you can have as many of these as you want. And then I'm going to take a green, purple, whoa, purple flying, and orange. Okay, and then that would be my turn. Now what I'm going to do is for my restock the yarn bazaar, I'm watching out for cards that may be events. Now notice, like I didn't replace these right away. There we go, there's an event. Okay, so now an event has occurred. And when an event occurs, you have to resolve it immediately. And what it is it could be something that can affect everybody. It can affect just me. It can be a take that for everybody, or help everybody. So this one is a Yarnopoly, by the way, looking really mischievous here. Kind of like a swiper. Swiper, no swiping. Choose a color. All players give you all yarn of that color. So yeah, I'm feeling that. So let me see. I want to take purple. All players give you all yarn of that color. So I'm going to say all players give you all yarn of that color. So I'm going to take all that. Purple. I want all your purple, homie. Here we go. So give me that purple. Okay. So that's resolved. And then I won't fill that spot. I still have to fill this one. Oh, look at that. So that was just kind of luck here too. So now we have another special request. Now I can keep this special request for myself, but I'm going to go ahead and dish this off of my partner. Now that can be a good thing or a bad thing, because now Ted has to make this before the end of the game. These right here, the ones that are not your favorite project, these are special requests. And if somebody can't make these, they're going to get these as negative points at the end of the game. So you really, really, really want to pay attention to that stuff. It's not something you want to take lightly. All right, so that is actually the end of her turn. And like I said, these spots are now going to be wide open. They're actually going to be considered wild. So this can be a blue, green, yellow, whatever. So blue, green, yellow, whatever. All right. Now we're back to Mr. Shop It over here. Now I don't have much anymore. So now I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. And that is going to be going shopping myself. So I'm going to go ahead and shop. It'd be nice if I could take the 3, right? But I'm going to take, let's see, I got these right here. I'm going to go ahead and I need a purple and I need a blue. I need a purple. Yep, I just need a purple. And I'm just going to take these. I'm going to need a purple. And then I'm going to take 2 more purple because there's 2 slots right here. So I'm just going to show you that first. What I'm going to do is do this. I'm going to take 2 purple for these wild spots that are right here. And then I'm going to take another purple, okay, because of this card right here. And that would be my 3 shop actions. Okay, you're like, why did he do that? The reason why I did that is because now I'm prepared to make these 2 right here, and I can craft 2 on my next turn. Now we're going to go ahead and fill that bazaar back, so that's the second part of my turn. Ooh, I kind of put some better cards out there for paying attention to events and special products. Now, I have a whole bunch of these. I do not want to deal with these anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and hand off this friendship bracelet, which actually is pretty easy to build. It says, give one yarn to each other player. Well, in a 2-player game, that actually is pretty easy, so I'm going to keep that one for myself. I'm kind of stacking up points over here, but as you can see, these are lesser than your projects. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep this one. That remains open. I don't have any actions that I can do at the end here for restock actions. I can't build anything. Oh, Oh yeah, actually I can. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. No, I can't construct anything. So I'm good to go. Back over to Nia. And Nia has a whole bunch of stuff. So she is going to craft. And now I'm just going to show you this just because I want you to see her action. She's going to take 2 cards. So she's going to take this one here and this one here. Okay. She's going to take 2 cards. She's going to get a yellow, orange, and a red. And I'm only showing you this because I want you to see her little combos here, her little combos. So now she can do one any color. Now she can actually not follow any rules of color. So she can take any combination of yarn and treat it as any color. Okay, so when she's looking at these, she's basically can just take the number. So I can take 4 of anything and make it whatever I want. That's just her special ability. Everybody else has to follow the required stuff. She does not. And that's good because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to craft one of these right here. I'm actually going to craft her favorite one. It says 1 of each color, which I think I happen to have. So let me go ahead and dig in here. And I'm not even going to really need her special action this turn, but let's just say if I did, I would be able to do that. I just want to explain that to you while we're at it here. I need a red and I need a green. So now she's built, and I'm just going to move these out of the way instead of trying to put them up. And she's now built this one right here because it says 6 of 1 of each color. So I'm going to have that one. Now I know I have those points at the end of the game. I'm going to put that over there. And then I'm good. All right, so I've crafted. Do I have any other stocks that I can do? I cannot, so that will move that on. So I'm going to show you some of the other things that can happen. But I forgot to, I forgot to refill this here. Oh, look at that. All players take 1 yarn. Okay, so I forgot to refill this. I always forget to do that, restock the yarn bazaar. You got to do that first. All right, so that I'm going to give every player takes 1 yarn. So I'm just going to take a random one. Let's say I'll take a blue. And let's say the other player takes a red. Okay, Ted takes a red. And then we keep restocking. So that goes away. That stays blank. And then we keep going. And as you can see, this is a really easy game to kind of get a good flow in. And then I would take my restock actions, which I am not going to be able to build a special project. I cannot learn a general pattern because I don't have the item tokens to do so and turn them in like I did over here. And then that would be my turn. So let me get a couple things set up here so you can see how the special projects work. We'll talk about the end game, and then we'll get to my final thoughts. Okay, I wanted to make sure we focus on the last part of your turn and then also just get to the end game. So this is the restock actions that you can do, and we're going to focus on the special projects, possibly building another exact pattern and turn it into a general pattern, and then also taking the frogget action, turning materials, turning items back into materials. So let's do it. I'm going to, first of all, complete a project. Actually, no, I'm going to frog something. So I'm going to take this and turn it back into material. Now it says I have to follow the color guidelines of that material. This would probably not be the best move because I'm about to trigger the end of the game here. I'm going to take this item and I'm going to turn it back into what it is, and that's 2 different colors. So I'll return this right here and I'll turn it into a blue and a purple. I'll show you why that's not a good thing, what I just did right there. But that's the general idea. I may also turn one of these tokens in to complete one of these exact patterns and turn it into a general pattern. Okay, and then finally, I can make one of these special products, and I'm going to make this one right here because these are worth 5 on their own, but this one right here is worth 20, and I definitely want to complete that project. Now, I have actually triggered the end of the game. It actually ends when the deck is out and there are less than 3 special projects left. Now, the player that's not active, which would be Ted over here, he will get 1 more turn to craft or complete a special project. And I don't have any of those, so there's nothing I can craft. I'm good to go. We're going to total up the end of the game. The end game goes really simple. You're going to take out the cards that you have for your special projects and flip those over and add those scores. You're going to take your requests and your special requests and favorites, add those up. Don't forget the bonus that you get, 5 points for making your own. Okay, and I'm going to separate this for a reason. Okay, put that over there. So I got those. Everybody got those. I'm also going to take the points that are unveiled here for my general pattern. So as you can see, this person right here, Nia, she got 10 points right here, plus these cards. If you have remaining tokens, you'll flip those over for points as well. And then we will now take away some negative points. If you did not complete a project that was given to you, a special project, you lose that amount of points. So I will lose 7. Then the player would also lose 1 point for each one of these leftover materials in here. So these items, each one of these tokens is -1 point. As you can see, looks like Nia wasn't planning too much. She had all this extra material and forgot to use it during the game. She really made a lot of stuff. But once you do that, you add up your score. Player with the most points wins. If it's a tie, it's the most complete projects, and then it's down to who has the fewest yarn after that. But that's pretty much the game of Arch Ravels. Really fun little game. Let's talk about it. Let's go back up, and I'll share my final thoughts. All right, party people, final thoughts here on Arch Ravels. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of cut it real short here because you did see some of the gameplay, so hopefully that'll help you make an informed decision. But there's a couple big points here. I like this game's feel. All right, I'm a big feel person. My hands, I like to move things back and forth. I like that feeling, not just meeples, but like I get to grab all these little tokens that represent the yarn, put them in my bowl, dig my hand in the bowl, put those things out. That's something I just like appreciate in a game. And if it feels thematic, that's awesome. So that game, that's one part I can just kind of skip the preview thought and just say, hey, like personally, that's something I like. Also, there's more strategy than meets the eye here. Now, this is still a light game, but I definitely want you to know that, like, yeah, there's a lot more going on here than I thought there was. And that has to do with, like, the boards being different and the abilities, the timing you have to, choose, make what choices you have to make, and also the events that just change it up for everybody or specific people, and those special requests that come into play where you can put them on somebody else to make them harder for you, or timely moment to put them where you are so that you can, make them fast and score a lot of points. I like that. I also like you have your own little project and it gives you bonus points. All that stuff right there is just little stuff that you need to, like, kind of give the game a little bit of a body to it. And I think that's what's going on here. This game actually has just enough of that strategy to make it worth your time. And I'll just leave it right there. Hopefully I helped you make an informed decision because I can never tell you what to do with your money. I want to thank XYZ Game Labs for sponsoring this video, and I want to thank you for your time. You can feel free to like and subscribe at the bottom. Please ask any questions. I'll try to answer them as best as possible. And with that, party people, I want you to have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me on MVM.